Okay, let's see. That goes there. All right. We are working on our level up system. So, oh man, a bunch of these are minimized. Where are, okay, these aren't all minimized though. Like usual, we need to refamiliarize ourselves with where we left off. So of course, big thing there is finding which object we're working in. Um, it should be here on one of these. Some other sub functions. Why are these inconsistent? Yeah, these should just be consistent here. So step one, let's do that. This generated this full genome here. This is all good. And then this generates a player character. Yeah. Yeah, this was the menu option we added as well. That's good. It's the XP thing, right? The add XP function. Fuck, let's just trace it all back. Add XP, level up, function level up, vars, create depth level cards, do card text. Yeah. Oh, it's all in the animation end, which I didn't open the tab, so I just wasn't looking at it right. Weird place to put this code. I should. Ah, fuck it, it's fine. It's all a mess. What are you gonna do, right? So we got these test genes. So this is everything this is where we're working. Okay. So we need a function to generate this. Should the rank tier this might be redundant. I could move this inside. This is probably best to move this inside. I think so. Add inside function, make into array. Yeah. Okay. Let's do we ever does script 1 ever get called anywhere? Like, is this automatic? I don't remember. I think the scripts just populate at the start automatically, right? Let's do this. Let's start organizing these. Yeah, rename this guy. We'll call this level up scripts. Hey Rugops, how's it going? So if we take maybe all this stuff here, add XP, level up, do cards, stat growth maybe can stay. Yeah. I copy these. Put these in here. Now this should just run, theoretically. We're still finishing up the level up system, so what we need to do now is remove the hard-coded level up example stuff we're currently using and start using the actual randomized genome data of the animal. Okay, so this still works. That's great. So this moving this to a new file just for convenience is perfectly fine. We need a name for a new function. I'm just gonna copy over some other stuff. Hopefully I didn't delete that already. No, this stuff. So what we want to do is we want to get this information produced, but dynamically. Function level info. This is going to take in, I guess, current level. Yeah, so this weekend we'll finish the challenge modes, and then next week after the DLC is out, we'll do a wetlands theme park build. It's just kind of a sandbox style, well, a challenge mode style sandbox, in as much as we can get it themed around the DLC and the update. So a wetlands park, probably on a random island, something like that. Passing current level. Probably should pass a target animal. Current level target animal. We'll have an output array. So we'll have some genes. We'll have some types. Column ranks and tiers. Available tiers. Current tiers. Current tier. An output array becomes an array of these things. Genes. Types. Ranks. Have available tiers. Current tier. And then this information is returned out of the function. Will Corythosaurus be in the game? I don't remember, but I don't think it was on the short list. The current roster for the game is very bare bones anyway. It's fully intended to expand, probably dramatically over time. So there's a lot of things that aren't on it. I think the current roster list is like 25 animals or something. Yeah, it's going to be cypress brush is going to be a core part of the swamp experience, so it'll be temperate or whatever for the island. Okay, so the target animal, this will be the genetic info. So this is this global.carnotaurus spawn, so .chrome. So eventually this will be the genome for like a particular animal you might have access to, not this hard-coded singular animal. But that functionality can be added when it matters. I have a name. I don't want to reveal it for a few reasons, because it's not set in stone. I might change it. And as far as to whether there'll be DLC, probably would be the idea. If the game did release, if I do finish it, there will probably be some form of updates and DLC afterwards. Hard to say exactly how that works out. There's definitely like it would be presumably it would probably be an early access type game, so there'd be a lot of free updates as the game's finished up, that kind of thing. And then what happens after that kind of depends on popularity and whatnot. If things making any money or not. But I definitely have ideas. Like I've kind of got like a tier system in my head of like this is a core feature that has to be finished now. This is a feature that could be pushed off until like after early access. This is a thing that would be nice to have, but isn't necessary and could maybe be a post-launch update type thing. But that's all very loose. Like, none of that is set in stone. So, we need a way to connect the current level to the appropriate genes. Hey, Cryo, how's it going? So the question then becomes, how do we want to... We have this genome we set up. We should have probably thought about this when setting up the genome. How we want to set that up to easily be parsed by the level up system. And I didn't really do that. I don't want any, like... I never like selling cosmetics conceptually in games, so I would not be doing any, like, microtransaction, buy this skin type shit. None of that. And the way the in-game cosmetics work is it's connected to the genome sequence of the animals. So even in-game, like with just in-game currency, it doesn't really make sense to like buy skins. You would be potentially breeding for unique skins. Three's crashing. You play on console, don't you? You think they're saving the Taiga Islands for when the biome doesn't look like crap? Maybe. That's possible. That's entirely plausible that they're unhappy with that biome and just aren't fixing it currently. All right, so level 1 should be an attack always. Internet has to reboot. That is a thing that happens. Fixing issues takes time, especially on consoles, because consoles you're playing in a much more strictly defined space, right? The console has very well defined hardware, which means any fix you push has to work specifically on that hardware, which means you're working within a lot more limitations. Yeah, I don't really expect any like tie-in DLCs in JWE3. I mean, it's not impossible, but I don't expect it to happen. It's certainly not irregular to play JW2 still. Like the mod, for instance, the modding community for 2 is there's still a lot more there than there is for 3. And I mean, if you're on console, then yeah, it makes even more sense to play 2 even if you're not using mods than to play 3 with some restrictions. So. I guess what we do, let's do this. Let's think about just levels here. Starting at 1, so level 2 is an attack. And then what levels? Not every level is a gained thing. Let's see here. We have wait, do we have 68? No, we have 67. That also doesn't work. Wait a second. That doesn't make any sense. Hold on. These are all flex categories. There's 30 of these. That makes sense. 10 flex. 10 flex, 6 passive, 6 attack. Okay, well, I'm just going to assume I missed a count somewhere. So we have 22 level upgrades available. Now we could do this linear, or we could do this kind of non-linear. I think the difference between 2 and 3 depends on what you're looking for. Like, it's hard to argue that one is strictly better than the other. Okay, let's do, so we do like 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. So pretty quickly push to 100. Not exactly what I want to do then. We could stagger it more. Should we do chat lyrics? What do you even mean by that? Yeah, see, that would scale too quickly. You do it like this. Kind of like truncating it. So that would be like 2 to 3 to 4, 6, 8, 11, 14, 18, 22, 27, 32, 38, 44, 51, 58, 64, 72. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's not bad. That's close to like the cadence we need here for this. Okay, I'm not gonna directly acknowledge the lyrics. Oops, this is 66. Wait, right? Yeah, it goes up 7, goes up 8, goes up 8, goes up 9 to 83, goes up 9 to 92. That's 19. Wait. That should be 19. Well, this doesn't work anyway. But it's close. You have an idea for a park we could do at the end of GW3's lifespan. What's that? How did I miss one? I stupid? I think I'm stupid. Well, whatever. Let's do 2 plus 1 to 3 plus 1 to 4 plus 1 to 5 plus 2 to 7 plus 2 to 9 plus 2 to 11. 3 to 14, 3 to 17, 3 to 20, 4 to 24, 4 to 28, 4 to 32, 5 to 37, 5 to 42, 5 to 47, 6 to 53, 6 to 59, 6 to 65, 7 to 72, 7 to 79, 7 to 86, going up 8 to 94, and that would be the end of the line. Park that has every species added in GW's lifespan and enclosures mimicking their natural environment species they would have interacted with. Maybe. I don't think unrestricted access to the workshop is going to be a thing in 3 because you could run into issues with malevolent users. Oh, I think the thing that was throwing me off is it starts at 1, but 1 isn't an ability because you start at 1. Yeah, it's something we could do. It just we have to see where things are at by that time. Okay, this works. This is a good level pattern, I think. So this is what we'll do. Even if yeah, this will work. So we want to do okay, so we make this an array. These are the levels that come with bonuses. We'll literally call this levels with bonuses. And then we do attack levels, and we do passive levels. So I'm thinking 2, I'm thinking 3, 4. And then 5 will be like flex. So attack, attack, passive, flex. Maybe we follow that. So then 7 and 9 are attacks. Attack, attack, passive, flex, attack, attack, passive on 11. Flex on 14. Attacks on 17 and 20. Then passive on 24. $42. 65. I guess the problem with this is, yeah, this pattern doesn't really hold. Which animal in the pack do I think I will use them in parks most generally? That's a hard call. Honestly, it might be the Hypsilophodon because it's a new herbivore. Like, we just tend to use more herbivores, but in terms of roster space, like, there's a lot of carnivores, right? I don't know what the total amount of carnivores and herbivores in the game is, but it feels kind of 50-50-ish, right? And so if it's like 50-50 split in the overall roster between herbivore and carnivore, but our parks use like, 75% herbivores or something, then we'll end up using Hypsilophodon more often, probably just by chance. Special finishers, that's something I've kind of thought about a little bit. But it's not like a core part of the gameplay, so I have no intention of really actually doing anything with that soon. Let's make this sooner. Let's do like 411, 14. Let's see. 2, 3. We're trying to decide what 6 levels are always attacks and which 6 levels are always passives. Let's do it this way. We do, yeah, okay, I know what I want to do. It alternates. So 2, 3, 7, 4, 9, 11. Right. And then 17 and 20. This is 24. 2, 3, 7, 17, 20, 32. And this is now 37 and 42. Right? Attack, attack, passive, flex. Attack, passive, passive, flex. On 14, yes. Attack on 17 and 20. Passive on 24. Flex on 28. Attack on 32. Passives on 37 and 42. Then the rest of it is flex. Okay. Yeah, Hypsilophodon, I'm really happy with it, honestly. Getting another ornithopod is great. It's been so long since we had a new one. I'm completely fine with this. Okay, so these are the levels that matter. This is this. So actually this info here, okay, there's another way to think about this. Actually, do I want to do it this way? I think so. I think this is fine. I do think there's no point in doing this function here. We'll leave this here as a reminder, maybe comment it out. Oh no, we still need this to check for the other ones. We can rewrite this actually, but this needs to be now in this. Oh no, it needs to be in here. Function level up if player, if enemy level plus equals 1, new level, target level, level cards. That goes to this object here. That is the level up icon. That is the full animation. Yeah, so let's do it like this. If it's not a level, yeah, the problem with the Dromaeosaur overabundance in the game is that yeah, we got a bunch of kind of mediocre franchise Dromaeosaurs. So just kind of ends up in a weird spot. Like I'm glad Ostro got in. But now that we've got like a proper Unin logging, I don't think we need any other Dromaeosaurs ever. Hot take. I think we're good. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be opposed to like a proper small one, like a Velociraptorine paleo accurate one, but that's about all I would want to see, and I wouldn't really want to see that for a while. Maybe like near the end of the game's lifespan. What was the best Camp Cretaceous season? What is the best Chaos Theory season? I haven't finished the last season of Chaos Theory yet. I'm close. For Chaos Theory, it's either season 1 or 4, and for Camp Cretaceous, it's definitely 1 or 3. Probably 3 for Camp Cretaceous, but I would have to rewatch them, but I'm not going to. For Chaos Theory, I'm feeling like it might be 4. 4 might be the best season. We'll see how they wrap it up, though, exactly. Yeah, I think we need the full roster of dromaeosaurs that we currently have, but they should be in a game that has a roster of more animals than we currently have. The problem is just that we've had so much stuff cut, but we still have all these dromaeosaurs. That's the real problem. Like, I don't think it looks like having 6 dromaeosaurs looks that bad if we actually have like a roster of 130 animals. Okay, so what we do here is we do this. Levels with bonuses. If new level in... That doesn't seem to work. We need an array check. This is array contains, right? Array contains levels with bonuses, comma, target dot level, actually. Returns a value. This is the level flag. So if the level is one that has a bonus, this is just if level flag, then create this. Let's make sure that syntax is correct. Okay, and we do level 3, level 4, level 5, and then yeah, level 6 does not pop up a thing because level 6 is not a bonus level. You made Jurassic World Hawaii and launched it. That's cool. Yeah, I haven't really looked at people's parks too much. Kind of don't want to, at least not right now, because I haven't really, broken the seal much on creative park builds. So I don't want the old creative juices to get polluted by other people's ideas, right? So to speak. Okay, so that takes care of this. So that now only shows up when we're on a level that actually has a bonus. And then what we want to do here is actually probably not have you. And we just do one of these that's flex levels. Which starts with 5. 5, 14, 28, 47. Wait, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 14, 28, 47. Yes. Right, because these progress faster. No, that's right. Momentary confusion. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to iterate, right? So we do n equals 3. We need a for loop. I don't need a variable because it'll always be 3. Let's make a break here. Okay. Actually, fuck. No, it's too soon for this loop. Let's think about this. Let's start this out with the attack genes specifically. The attack genes are 20 through 37. So if we assign an index of, say, I guess 0 through 5, okay, so we could do this like, yeah, assign an index of 0 through 5, add 20. So then we'd return for level 2, 20. Yeah, it would be 20, it would be 26, and then it would be... Does that match up what I did in my demo? No. Why? Because there's only 5. Oh, because the last one's in a different slot. No, yes, okay. It's because I added an attack, so my that's why my syntax is different. So it should be 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then attack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and attack 1, 32. So genes 20, 26, and 32. So what we do then is we do this. If current level, no, we need the array. So we do attack check equals array contains attack levels, comma, current level. The pass check is the same thing, but for the passive levels. And you know what? We might as well just do a flex check to make this consistent. Although we should be able to just do that essentially as an else check, but it doesn't matter. Passive levels. Why are you... Oh, because there's a double equals. Might be. Okay. So, only one of these can be passed. Yes. So we have 1, 0, 0. Is this necessary? Yes. Yes, it is. We do if attack check. Actually, let's do this first. So if the attack check is passed, we want a array. We want the index. Array get index. Array get index of attack levels. So we'll call this n. Attack levels, comma, current level. So now this is n. So this is 0 through 5, depending on which level it is. So 0 for 2, 5 for 32. So this sets the ends. Yeah, because I need to know which list to check for the index. This matters. Which actually makes the flex relevant as well. It is important that we have the flex levels. Okay, so these work. These are sequential. These are sequential. And these are sequential. There are no outlying flex locations, so this is perfect. Okay, so now we know n. Um, then we add 5 each time, right? Yeah. Wait, no. 6. Yes. So we need another variable, which is a 6. This is step size. 6. Or if it's a flex, ni should be like 10. Let me find my alerts. They are currently buried. Thank you for the subscription on YouTube, Caden. I appreciate it. Okay, so we don't actually need to define the step size of 6 in here. We can assume this, I guess, and just chuck it out here. And then change it to 10 if we're on a flex slot for the level up. I think that's fine. So then we go here through this for loop. So we want target animal. And then we want to call chromosome. And then we want to call the string version of the gene number. So for our demo, so if level 2, this is a comment, not a code. So if we're on level 2, no croc pisses you off. I'm not entirely surprised there's no croc, because I don't think they'd have saved it for last. But yeah, I mean, I kind of expected a croc to be in here too. It was only after we got 2 animals out of 3 deep that I doubted the croc. So we could still get like a dedicated croc DLC down the road, which is maybe better anyway, because like I think just adding Dinosuchus, which is what most people want, would be kind of underwhelming. I think adding like 3 crocs would be maybe better, because then we can have a more traditional croc like Dinosuchus, and then some sort of like Triassic crocodile, and then maybe like a Simosuchus or whatever, one of those weird herbivorous pug crocs, something like that. I think that'd be funner to have like a more than one. No, I have never watched K-pop Demon Hunters. I have zero interest in watching it. I do not care. I don't watch all that much stuff, so I would not take time out of my busy day of not watching things to watch that. So if level 2, yeah, there's like a lot of options for what it could be, for what crocs they could add. So if we're on level 2, then we would have passed the attack check, right? This would get the index for 2, which would return a 0 for n. So n equals 0. And I, which is step size, equals 6. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to do this. We want to do plus 20 here specifically, right? Yes. So n is now 20, because the 20th chromosome is the first attack. I don't think we need both like Purosaurus and Dinosuchus. They're both just big croc. I think if we're going to do big croc, we should just have Dinosuchus, because it's the semi-canon one. And then I think we should go with more interesting options like Postosuchus, Ornithosuchus, Caprosuchus, something along those lines. Some Triassic crocodilomorphs, or like the herbivorous crocs and stuff. I just don't think we should have too many things that are kind of just big gator. Oh, what is this crap? Oh no, that's not crap. That's me not recognizing somebody changing their icon. All right. Never mind. Continuing on. Okay, so we'd have 20 NI as target animal. So this should just be N plus I times NI. Right. So this is 20. Why don't we let's just call this NX. Let's do it like this. In case we change something here, it's not buried. Yeah, Capro is just a fairly normal croc now, right? The whole like erect croc thing is not really true, right? I think I remembered seeing this, because I think I saw this when I was putting together my my DLC wish lists and like DLC speculation videos. Because Caprosuchus is one of those that I always associate with being like a, you know, a terrestrial kind of semi-erect hunting crocodile, and then like it's just not, just like misinterpreted. Yeah, Irritator's my favorite Spinosaurus, I think. Suko's great, don't get me wrong, but like having a Spinosaurus that showcases like the really current paleontological discoveries of like the fourth toe and the tadpole tail stuff, that's really cool. I really like that. It feels much more distinct than the other ones. Plus it's Irritator, which is hilarious. This should be I times ni. So I0 times the step size of 6 is 0, returns 20. I of 1 times the step size of 6 returns 26. I of 2 times the step size of 6 returns 23. And then if we do this with this, we'll have to fix these starting values. But these should also scale in the same way. Actually, I don't think we need to fix these because they start at 0. Oh, but we do because we don't have a 0 chromosome. We start at 1 for chromosome count. So N1 for the passive, and then the flex slots begin at 19. Yeah, flex at 19. So this is just 19 plus array index. Okay, so then that should iterate correctly. So we get some sort of gene info here. Actually, let's call it, I don't know, target gene, whatever. So that is coming from here. Hold on, from here. That will look like... Oops. Yeah, okay, so we do it like that. Rando. Yeah, let's copy this info. So these will just be names. Okay. So yeah, actually, let's call it that for our explicit purposes. So this is specifically the gene name. We'll put this info here. Let's comment this out. So we get a name. So the name goes to the gene array. This is array push, genes, comma, gene name. Okay, so that's updated the first array. Second array types. This is attack or passive. Ranks is current rank, right? For ranks, available tiers, rank tier. Oh no, this is DOM recessive. DOM/rec. Total tiers. Current tier. And then we already are doing a thing. Let's grab the check from here for this. Parsing the existing rank tiers. Okay, if this array global.pc type array Test genes. Okay, so this is not currently. If one, if two, rank tier, rank tier. Yeah, okay. Rank tier 1, that's a string. 2 or 3. This should be the name, gene name. Oops. And then type array is the passives or the active. So this is, let's just call this type. Call it tip. So passive or attack, passives, attacks. This will find us the current rank. Then we need a third one here, which is if the array contains rank 3 already, we cannot have, we're not allowed a rank that is maxed out. So this becomes gene name. This is a gene sequence gap. So sequence gap shows up wherever there's a legitimate gene sequence gap in the chromosomes, or if you have an invalid passive or move, then it is replaced by a gene sequence gap retroactively. We don't really know if the 3 species thing is going to be typical, but we probably should assume it is, yeah. This becomes a passive. So type equals passive. Do I want this internally here? I think so, right? Yes, this should all be, it should all loop once. Yeah. Then we do an array push for the ranks with the value of rank tier. No. Current tier. This is awful wording. Let's call this like R tier so it doesn't have rank in it, because that's just confusing. So rank 1, if you're already at rank 2, it becomes 3. If you're already at 1, it becomes 2. If you're already at 3, this has to be first because of the sequence of events here. Otherwise, they'll trigger each other. Okay, so if we're at 3, gene sequence gap takes over. If we're at 2, the new one is 3. If we're at 1, the new one is 2. Otherwise, this 1 that we initialized with will carry through all these if checks and not change. So that works. Then this is array pushed to current tier. We need an available tiers check. let's just start marking these off. Done. Done. Oops. Okay, types. We need this because this is actually used here. This has to go in here. So type equals okay, so right. I think we do a check. Okay, these will be hard coded. These will have to be fixed eventually. So let's not initially give this a thing. So we have the name of this current gene. Now we need to find out what type this is and what recessive state it is. So we do if array contains again. It's probably a much better way to do this, but I don't want to rewrite it. So if array contains, and we do Carnot attacks, global.Carnot attacks dominant. And this is gene name without the number. So if this is in this array, then we assign a type, and we assign a rank. We'll call it a G rank. So this would be attack. This would be, we just do write out fully dominant recessive, I think, right? Yes, with a capital. I don't know if that matters, but we'll follow the syntax. So that's what this looks like. Type and G rank are defined as attack and dominant because it's in this dominant list. And we just do this 4 times. There's better ways to do this, 100%, but I would have to rewrite the data structures, and I don't feel like doing it. So we're just going to do it this way. And it's fine. So if it's recessive, then it's recessive, G rank. And then these are both passives. At least both checks can be done 1 and 1 because of how we set up this array initially. Oops. Passives, recessive. And this is passives dominant. Attacks dominant, attacks recessive, passives dominant, passives recessive. Okay. So now we got type, we got G rank. Type is passed down here. Type changes if it's this. G rank equals, I guess we can call this a null. Dominant, I suppose a gap would technically be like dominant. Let's call it dominant. Let's not introduce a new label in case this doesn't matter. All right, then we got array pushes for G rank to rank tier. No, just to ranks. And we push type to the types. So we've passed along now the information for whether or not it's an attack or a passive, dominant or recessive. We passed along the current tier of the ability, the gene name. Last thing we need is how many tiers are actually available in the entire genome. Which as far as I remember, we've never counted this. So this is completely new code. We can't steal it from anywhere else and move it into here. So what we do, we would want to go through every chromosome in the animal. Let's do it down here. It's probably a nested for loop is probably the way to do this. Guess we just do 1 through 48. Let's do it. Let's keep this as a 0. Because otherwise it throws off my mental math on indexing. So if we do 0 through 48, that's going to be 0 through 47 for actual values, which correspond to 1 to 48. This is fine. Okay. Now inside of this loop, we want to take the gene name and we want to compare it to what is in the list. Call it 1 tier. We'll call it A tier. So we do, this is a 0. No, that can't be. Okay, we'll call this A tier 2. A tier 0. I 0. We'll leave that there as a placeholder. Fuck it. So we go through this. When we get to a chromosome, let's look at this again. Oh, I have a printout action that I can just read. Yeah, okay. So the gene name will match what's in the gene. So we go if let's see, if target animal chrome plus string of I plus 1. If target animal dot chromosome n, and then we do index 0 equals gene name, we do or index 1 equals gene name. Oh, these can be the same, so I can't do it like this. Because I sometimes need to double count this. So we do this. If if this. So if the name is in there, A tier plus equals 1. Same thing here, but now for index 1 separately, because if it shows up twice on the same chromosome, this still counts, because these are separate levels on the same gene. A tier plus equals 1. Now we have an A tier value down here. Okay, I'm just going to leave this not here. So 0, 1, 2, or 3 or more. So after all this, then we do if A tier is greater than 3, A tier equals 3, because it's not supposed to ever be above 3. And then we do array push. String of A tier. And this is ab tiers. That should be it. That should take care of it. Output array returns out of the level up script. So that would be us to here. Level cards. What do we call this script actually? This is called function level info. Okay, let's test this. So we're just going to go here. We're not going to replace anything else currently available. So we'll just do this in here. So new stuff equals level info of current level. And this is global dot Carnotaurus spawn. Struct appears where an array is expected. Does that not work? Well, let's just run this. The easy way to find out if it works is just to try it. Okay, it crashed, but where did it want to crash? Unable to convert string Chrome 22 int 64 line 220 and script level info. So this looks like this worked because it made it inside the function. Line 220 thinks it should be an integer. Oh, I just forgot the $sign. The thing that tells it that this is not an index. Did I forget it anywhere else? I bet you I did. No, it's there. It's there. It's missing everywhere I put in a chromosome. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Simple bug to fix. Just a not a, you wouldn't call that a typo. I don't know what you'd call that. Just a small oversight. An oopsie. Okay, new crash who dis. Line 244. Illegal array use on line 244. Array contains gname plus 3. This is specifically the check for the gap. Why doesn't this work? Global.pc.passives. Illegal array use. The fuck does that mean? How is this illegal array use? It passed all these other ones, which are essentially formatted the same way. I don't understand how. The only difference is that it's type. Maybe arrest this man? Yeah, I've committed a crime, apparently. Maybe the type is wrong? Attacks, passives. Global.pc. Global.pc. Attacks and passives. Is the issue if it's empty? Why would that be an issue? I actually don't understand how this is a problem. Array contains attack levels, current level. Legal array usage. Oh, am I not allowed to do this inside an if statement? I bet you that's it. I bet you that's simply what it is. XYZ equals, because this is returning a true false statement. So maybe it's just you're not technically allowed to do this inside of an if statement. And then we just do if XYZ. That's some top tier coding right there, though, to call a variable XYZ because you just have no. You can't be fucked to actually name it something descriptive. Okay. It crashed again, but did it crash somewhere else? Okay. Error, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, bunch of hash signs, error in action 1 of other event animation end, do add to illegal array use. Line 244 still. XYZ array contains. So this is still bad. Why? So it's not the logic check. What's the problem here? This isn't even a this check just doesn't even really matter right now. I just don't know why it doesn't work. Let's do this. A equals B equals. We'll break this up. B is now what we're looking for. And A is the target array. And then we do show debug message A. Show debug message B. Because there could be an error earlier in the code that is just malforming these variables. Maybe. And that's why somehow it's an illegal array usage. I don't know. Okay. What do we got? We have error in action 1 level cards. Unknown object type not set before reading it. Line 244. This. Oh, wait. Type not set before reading it. Oh, because these are set inside here. Wait, why does it not get a type? Wait, what? Why are all these failing? Okay, well we know, so yeah, it's actually a problem up here. Show debug message of gene name. Dominant, recessive, passive's dominant, passive's recessive. Gene name. So for whatever reason, this is not triggering any of these if statements. That's where the bug is. So why is it not triggering the if statements? Paralytic bite jaw lock. Wait, what? Wait, this is an array? Oh, because I've got the full thing. Oh shit. Right. I haven't broken this up. This is two genes per chromosome. I'm pulling a chromosome here without any consideration for which of the two genes on the chromosome I actually want to check. Duh. Okay, so shit. So yeah, we need to add, okay, let's make a note. Need 0 or 1 index defined. The reason we don't have this index defined, the trick with this is almost always 1, except when it's not. So this is 0 in the case of the specifically the 6 fixed attacks. Okay. So what we do is in here. Yes, okay. So gene index equals 1. And then if it passes the attack check, gene index is instead 0. That should work. And then we just do, what do we call this? Gene index. And we do boop boop, and we do gene index. Okay. I guess we leave all that syntax there. There's no reason to fix it. Okay. Charge, tail, slap, kick. So this did not bug out. So the next question is, did it actually work correctly? So, pierce. Kick 1, pierce 3. Pierce, attack, dominant, and whole array of zeros and shit. What the fuck? Okay, what am I all... Okay, let's start at the top of this and figure out everything I wrote out here, because I've lost the plot. Show debug message gene name. This is showing that it's Pierce. Wait, why is this... Wait, what? Yeah, this didn't work. Okay, so this thing here, found the one. Why did this not work? This only looped once. Show debug message A and B. So yeah, this is showing only kicks. B is showing Pierce 3. Yep, this makes sense. This is like whatever. These don't really matter. They're correct, but they don't really matter. Array push, array push, array push. Array push, output array, returning output array. And then in here, new stuff, level info, current level, global.contour spawn. This seemed to work, but is not correct. And it is giving a bunch of extra stuff that it really shouldn't. We also have some outputs for some other stuff here. That shouldn't matter. Okay. Array push, return. There's probably another show debug up here somewhere. Yeah, gene data. We don't need that. Okay. So, current bug is the output array is not correctly formatted for some reason. So why is that? There's multiple problems here. We return genes types, ranks, average tiers, or available tiers, and then current tiers. And available tiers is multi-populating. Oh, wait. Wait. What? A tier. This gets pushed here. How is it doing this? What is happening here? I don't understand how this is breaking. Array push, current tier, ranks, and types. This is correct. Pierce is an attack and it's dominant. Tier is 0. We go through 48 genes. Starting from 1, 0, and 1, 1, all the way up to 48, 0, and 48, 1. If these ever match, then they're incremented by 1. Then if A tier is greater than 3, it becomes 3. And only here do we array push to average tiers, the string version of A tier. But somehow this has happened multiple times. Because this list has grown a lot. And the last one, current tier 1. Yeah, so it's 2 bugs. Is this 48 entries? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is probably 48 length on this list. Why would it do that? Oh, I'm missing a closing bracket. Oh, shit, my brackets are misaligned. That would do it. Wait, okay, so if my brackets were misaligned. Wait, what is this bracket? This bracket's nothing. Okay, that's the problem. I started writing extra stuff inside the for loop because, yes, right? Bracket, open, bracket, close, bracket, close, open and close on the for loop. If, open, close, array push. That fixes that. Maybe. Okay, then what about the overall loop? For I equals 0. Bracket opens. Bracket closes, right? Then there's a closing bracket for the function all the way down there. Maybe the other bug made that not work correctly. I don't know. Fix one bug at a time, I guess. Okay. Fixed. Okay. Bug 1 fixed. Bug 2. This output is being returned in a weird spot for some reason. Now, is it... So this should run 3 times. So we've defined everything up here. Let's check our loop, I guess. Open bracket, open, close, 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 open. So we have 2 open, close, 1 open, close, none open. That looks correct. Oh, I know what's wrong. No, I don't. Nope, I have no idea what's wrong. To the end of the array without having to know the length of the array. So that should work. Why would this do... Wait, where's my... No, my check is at the very end of everything. What is happening? Thanks for the super chat, Cryo. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't give me money. $1 doesn't buy anything anymore, but I appreciate your $1. But also, you should probably not be sending me $1. Okay, why is this wrong? Okay, let's break it down. Let's break it down. Is the loop broken somehow? Right. Let's do a debug message. Show debug message of I. We could check the index. We should see 0, 1, 2 showing that the loop is fired 3 times. How am I getting paid? I'm not getting paid. I'm making like a tiny amount of ad revenue. Otherwise, yeah, I'm screwed. Okay, so this only shows me 0. So the loop is stopping after 1. Why is it stopping? Why is it not? What? I don't understand. It's like the return is inside the array. Let's do this. For some reason, or the not the return, that's like the return is inside the loop. Because the return statement will break a loop and end it prematurely. But that shouldn't be happening here. So I don't know why it would. 0 tail slap undefined. Right, because nothing's returned. Okay, so it's not that though, because the loop is still not continuing. You see a laundry basket beside me. True, that is a laundry basket. I usually put that out of frame when I think about it, but I didn't. When am I going back to work? When I get a job, man? And it hasn't been a year yet. It's been 6 months. June, July, August, September, October, November. Closer to 7 months. Closer to 7. Here, I'll get rid of the laundry basket. Oh, there you go. No laundry basket. Why does this code not work? What is happening? Something somewhere in here is preventing this from looping. Did I am I malusing I in here somewhere? Do I have a stray? Am I setting I to a different value inadvertently in here somewhere maybe? Because that would break it. I am, because I'm using I here as well. Yes, nested for loops need different variables. We'll call this, okay, let's call this J. J, J, J. That's where it's breaking. That's why this was looping 48 times. How was a laundry basket making me famous? I don't understand. I'm not sure where you're going with this bit. Okay, this should work. This should fix it. That's an important lesson. That's what do they call that? That's like cleaning your code or whatever. That's like code hygiene. If you got bad code hygiene, you're misusing variables, then that shit'll happen. I'm not even sure that's the right phrase. Jaw lock, bite, rend, attack, 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 dominant, 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 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1. Fucking let's go. Okay, it works. Sick. It does exactly what it's supposed to because it proves that I'm doing my laundry. What? How does it prove that? Why would that matter also? Where are you going with this? All right, let's go back to the level cards. So this function now works. We can integrate it with the output in the UI itself. Okay. Let's kill this. So let's comment out this. Comment out this. This code has all been replaced. Wait, should this still be a thing? No, this should be commented out too. We'll keep it up here as a reminder, I guess. Passive attack. Comment this out. You have no idea what normal people do with laundry. I think they wash it. Instance create, destroy. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to now replace this stuff here with the actual stuff. So test genes is now we'll call this the actual data. So this is now the actual data entry 0. Let's be sure about this. So we return this. This is the structure of the output array. So that is, we'll put this here. So genes, that's this. So the actual data is 0. The type array, that should be 1. Gene type array, two. Available tiers. That is in fact 3. And then the rank tier, we'll call this rank tiers, is index 4. These guys, these old ones, the hard-coded ones, can go away. We'll comment these out and leave them here for historical reference or whatever. Welcome back, Zach. Your girlfriend demanded a call. How dare she? All right. Yeah, how are you supposed to know the average person isn't Asmongold? Here's the trick, right? Here's how you know the average person isn't Asmongold. Because the average person isn't Asmongold. That's how you know that. Okay, type array 0. So this should be right. And these should be pulling correctly. Name pulls from the name. Text. This should just all work. This is where this is different. So we need rank. Do we call this rank tiers? I think so. I think I just pluralized it. So this is 0. Available tiers is now available tiers 0. Wait, is this actually capitalized? No. It lied to me. How dare it? Type should now be type R. No, gene type. Right? Gene type 0, type R 0. Texas card text. That should be correct. So let's just copy these middle 4. We should be able to just get rid of the hard coding on all of these. These all become 1. And these all become 2. Now, if we didn't fuck it up, we should be able to level all the way to 100, gaining passives and attacks as we go. Do you think the next pack will be cheaper or more than usual? I honestly, Zach, I have no earthly idea. I have no clue. Because it's simultaneously more and less content than we're used to. Because it's less dinosaurs. But, like, how do you put a value on 200 decorations? I guess you could compare it to, like, the Badlands upgrade, maybe? Oh, we got a crash. Dang it. Why did it die? Variable unknown object dot rank tier not set. Oh, we still have a rank tier in here. Rank tiers. Rank tiers. Rank tiers. Okay. Oh, this is still pulling here in 64 of rank tier. So this should be tiers 0. Tiers 0. Test genes, rank tiers. Mm-hmm. And these are both index 1. And down here, index 2. Planet Zoo does packs like this at $10. Yeah, also pieces versus like proper actual decorations is kind of a thing. What were the species packs for JWE 2? How much did they cost? Because I don't even remember. I just buy them without even thinking about it. Shit, why did this crash again? Do card text, rank tiers 1. We have a crash in rank tiers. Line 94. Rank tiers 1. Wait, line 94? How is that where the crash is? Line 67. Wait a second. Oh, there's a crash in. No, this is okay. This is here. No, this is line 94 is crashing during the card text in 67 with gene data. How did this pass the first check but not the second one? Attack, global dot attacks, test genes 1, in 64 rank tiers 1. What the fuck? Oh, maybe this is a fluke. This could be an attack that's not coded in. I think that's it. They're 8? Okay. I mean, yeah, they're probably more likely to cost at least as much as the Planet Zoo packs. Maybe even slightly higher because of licensing things. Like they could bump them up. I wouldn't be completely shocked if they're actually more expensive. I think they won't be any cheaper though than the Planet Zoo ones. So at least 10. Okay, so is that what this is? Yeah, because it's going to global.attacks and finding nothing. So what we need to do is we need to code in placeholders. So we go to the attack dictionary. Actually, we go to genetic info. Wait, were the lists here? Yeah, we need these lists because these have not been finished. So these do need to have placeholders. Let me put this in a text document real quick so that I can read it on my other screen. Well, on my same screen, but on a different part of the screen so I can see the damn thing. Okay. You have every pack in Planet Zoo and don't play it? I thought it was bad that I bought Planet Zoo and never played it, but I haven't bought any DLCs for it, so at least there's that. I used to buy a lot of games that I never get around to playing. I've kind of like weaned myself off of that. I'm now able to see an alluring Steam sale and not click the buy button because I've kind of given up on ever playing all the games I want to play. There's too much other shit I should be doing or want to do to just play every game. Okay, so let's make a placeholder. Right. We'll do it here. Yeah, we're missing almost all of the extra attacks I've added. They haven't been done at all. Why was the Camp Cretaceous one 10? That makes like no sense. Not like saying you're wrong, because I do remember it costing more. I just don't remember what the logic for why that one was more expensive was supposed to be. Yeah, I really like the JW3 brushes. They seem pretty good. Let's do it like this. Placeholders start here. And then let's actually mark off the ones we already have. So we already have charge, we have devour, we have headbutt. We have threat display, deleted. We have tail slap. Do we have bite? We don't have a bite. We don't have a rend. Bite, rend, tackle, growl, challenging roar. How is it different than a threat display? I don't know. Rake, jaw lock, paralytic bite. We have that one. Oh, pierce and spear. Mule kick and shake off. Yeah, placing individual trees is crazy. Rip and tear, feeding frenzy. Rip and tear, feeding frenzy, gore, and bull rush. None of those are on the list. Okay, then we'll have to do this with the passives, but we'll do that next. So, let's change the description to placeholder. Placeholder, kicks effect. All right. So first one is bite. So bite equals bite. Next is rend. Rend equals rend. Tackle. Tackle equals tackle. Oops, are these... No, they are capitalized. Growl. Growl is growl. Does the Ostroraptor look better than the Guanlong? I'll have to see them in game to decide. My gut instinct is no, because I'm quite fond of the Guanlong, but we'll see if that is true when I see the full spread of colors they have. Challenging roar. Now, are the names spaced out? Yes. Challenging roar. Rake. Jawlock. Some of these I don't even have effects for. They're literally just conceptual attacks. Spear. Actually, most of these placeholder ones I don't even have concepts for. Think we could stack the new species and the update on each other? I mean, sure, why not? Do we think Irritator is big enough to be a medium theropod, like, in the game? It's definitely the smallest one out of the Spinosaurids. So the Irritator, a human should be like the back of the Irritator should be kind of at shoulder level on a human. Going by the fossil. What is Angaturama? In 1997, British paleontologists Alan and Angela consider Angaturama likely a junior synonym of Irritator. Okay, and so Angaturama is just a different animal that may be an Irritator. But yeah, Irritator is much smaller. It's like half the size of a Suko. It's like right kind of in that ambiguous range of small to medium in the game. Because it might be, how does it stack up to like Cryolophosaurus in terms of size? It's actually like smaller than Cryolophosaurus. Not by much, but like a sliver. Honestly, that's an unsung reason that Irritator is interesting in the game. Because it's like a different size category of Spinosaurid, which is also cool. IMO. Wait, why did that one... I don't know why that had a pop-up there for a moment. That was weird. Okay, Mule Kick. Boom. Rip and Tear. I guess this should be Rip and Tear. Wait, should it be? I mean, like, it should be in terms of, like, you know, a title, a name for things. But I don't know if this has consequences on the code. I don't think it does. Because the capitalization's preserved between the title and the variable name. It should be fine. Why does it want to put an underscore after and? Rip and underscore tear. Oh, because I didn't put the cap. Yes. I understand. But no. No, thank you. I'm good. Feeding Frenzy. Yeah, we'll have to see. It'll be interesting to see if it has consequences for like hunting with it, which could have consequences for cohab, which could be interesting. Although they've already said that they wanted it to live up to its name of being Irritator. So I have a feeling it's going to be, uh, it's not going to play nice with others. To me, but personally, I think it's a kind of a missed opportunity, something missing from the game, to not have a Spinosaurid that could cohab with herbivores safely. I think that'd be really cool. Um, and that could still be Irritator technically. It could be an irritating animal in terms of like keeping its happiness in check, and not be irritating in terms of cohabitation, right? But I think it'd be really cool to be able to put a Spinosaurid in with some herbivores. I would really like that. Should have probably discussed that in the video. That would have been an interesting point to bring up, but whatever. Too late now. Gore. But not the vice president. This is not Al. Yeah, I've seen the pain in the ass thing's been mentioned in a few places, so but it's still, at least I didn't watch any of Beaver's coverage because I never watch Beaver. But as far as I know, nobody has really clarified what that means in terms of how Irritator is a pain in the ass, and so there's a few different things that it could be doing that would make it a pain in the ass, and it kind of matters a little bit which direction they went with, you know. Bull Rush. Okay, so those are all the attacks. Now we got to add them here. Bite to bite. Rend, rend. Tackle. Tackle. Probably a better way I could have written up this data structure, but at this point, like, I'm committed to it and we're just going with it. I think at some point I do scrap this out. Probably we write up like a JSON or something, some sort of intake, some sort of data file that the game takes in to get the attack information from, because this is not good. But this doesn't need to be done now. I probably don't make that change at all until we're out of the vertical slice era and properly into an alpha. It's probably like phase 1 of alpha development is like modularizing some of the remaining areas of the code that are a little bit not modular. Okay, let's double check these. Bite, rend, tackle, growl, challenging roar, rake. Looks good. Jaw lock. Pierce, but not the Kentrosaurus. Spear, but not the caveman from Primal, right? I think that was a thing. Spear and Fang, right? It's been a while since I watched Primal. Ooh, this capitalization actually might be a problem. Because I might not have a way to differentiate this. Okay, let's just capitalize it. This is not important enough to break the code for. Like, I might actually turn the variable name back into the... I shouldn't... No, I'm pretty sure I don't do that. I'm pretty sure I don't have something that like automatically separates based on capitalization. I don't think that functionality is something I've added. So let's assume it's not a thing. All right, rip and tear, rip and tear. Feeding frenzy. Gore, but not Al. Oops. And lastly, Bull Rush. All the attacks should work now. Let's test this. Females are most agitated when the babies are uncomfortable about any species and get aggressive faster. Okay, so he did have a little bit more detail on it then, it sounds like. But that's good, because that's comfort stuff. So that doesn't mean that, like, there's still a possibility that maybe they can cohab with, like, large herbivores or something. Threat display, paralytic bite, charge. Challenging roar, headbutt. Oh, shoot, we gotta fix this. But this is working. This should crash at some point because the passives aren't set up yet. Yep, there it goes. Okay. So, what do we want to fix first? It's 9 o'clock. We got time to fix both bugs. Well, we got time to fix the bug and time to fix the data entry thing that we need to do. So, this is probably good to go. Let's do the script thing first. Actually, I'm going to get a drink, and then we will continue the code. Was waylaid. He also said something about they have Molly Monarch. What's? Not sure what you mean there. Like just a monarchical society? Because that was a thing, right? I think we covered that in the video. Same thing with like the Utah Raptor, they only want so many females or something. Hey Ali, how's it going? I don't know why I wear headphones during this stream. It's not like I'm playing music or anything. I could. Well, I guess so I can hear alerts. I suppose that's relevant. Something about the females more likely to be alpha. I mean, that would still be like a monarchical thing. Okay, so we need a way to remove duplicates. in this code. So I think what we do is we add a new function here. Maybe? What if, let's think about this. This is what we want to do. Now, there's better ways to do this. If XYZ, okay, let's do this, or ABC, where ABC would be this is duplicated, XYZ would be this is above the level cap, right? Yeah, no worries, Zach. Without having seen the video myself, I couldn't help you out trying to figure out what it was he might have said, so I'm not surprised if he was hard to understand or whatever. So we just want to do... I think we just do this. We can do this as an array contains, I think. Because I think if we do array contains, we do this on genes. Yeah. Right. So gene name is here. This is immediately pushed. So this has to move. So we take this, we move it there, and we put it down here. Oh, this was already bugged because this has to be here. Hold on. Gene name. Okay, let's kill these debug messages. These are out of date now. Gene name, type, G rank, R tier. These are redefined. Now we push yes. Okay, this was already bugged. Cool. Game thinks you didn't beat Clark County. I did see some people reporting issues with the challenge mode's not counting, so there might be some information out there about a fix. I haven't encountered that problem myself, though. But I've definitely heard about it happening. You're not alone. I don't know, like, this is part of why I started trying to make sure I had a backup save that I could come back to, because I knew about this problem. If gene name is in genes, then it becomes a sequence gap. This should work. This should be fine. Yeah, I don't remember all the people who were getting GW through preview info stuff, but yeah, there were definitely a few that were not the best to parse information from, for sure. Let's run this. Let's try and find an example of this duplication happening to make sure this works before we add the passives in, or the passive placeholders. Okay, immediately crashed. Crashing on card text. Oh, because it's right. No, that makes sense. Because now we're passing out gene sequence gap, but it's not a thing. This becomes a passive. Yeah, okay. So we have to add this to the passives. Passive dictionary. Like this. Yeah, I really like Guanlong. I think they did a really good job with the Guanlong. Wasn't the lady designer like a Planet Zoo person, which is probably why she got in. It's probably a case of like, hey, you play our other game. Do you want to come to the events for this game? And they're like, sure. But that doesn't mean they're actually going to do anything to promote it. So let's call this a placeholder. Fill this slot with a designer gene later. You can fill this slot with a designer gene later. Let's test it. Oh, it's not been added. Shit. We gotta actually add it here. Okay. All right, jaw lock, spear, and tackle. Tail slap, charge, and growl. Stoicism, weaken, resist, and damage specialization. We actually got passives that worked. We'll go till the game crashes, which will happen. There it is. Let's try it again. I want to see the gene sequence gap card show up. This requires a duplicate out of the set of 3. This might take a few tries to get it to work in the randomization. I could try to force it. Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought I remembered seeing something. Okay, this crashed immediately. This still broke. Cartex, do Cartex attack. Global dead attacks. Test genes. Wait. This is still calling test genes. Level cards other? Wait, what the fuck am I looking at? Do card text. Where are we here? Do card text. If gene type is attack. If gene type is passive. Gene data dot description base skill class. Gene data dot. Have we never tested this? Maybe. Third var is rank tier. I think this might be unfinished. Return string card text. What the hell? Line 131. No, we tested this. We tested these. These worked. Yeah, there's definitely some weird area Negro stuff. It doesn't the fact that like Guanlongs never want to breed is just weird too. Like the territory size to enable breeding is strange. Card text do card text. Test genes. Rank tiers. Oh wait, this is passing attack. If gene type equals passive. Oh, I know what's wrong. I know why this breaks. Hold on. Wait, do I? No, I do know why this breaks. I just don't know how we haven't caught this before now. It breaks in here. In the card stuff. Level cards. If type argument is passive, otherwise if attack. Yes. Ah, yes. Right. So it is an attack, but then it has switched to a passive. That's the problem here. Wait, why is it still an attack? That's no. Okay, I know this is the real problem, right? Yeah. This is not the bug. No, the bug is in the level up script. The bug is with the attack type being pushed. Gene name, passive, dominant, rank tier 1. This is being overwritten. Type attack, rank dominant. Where do we push the type? The type is pushed here. Wait, how does this break? I'm confused. This doesn't look like this should be broken. Yeah, the wetland stuff is definitely overdone 100%. It's very weird how certain animals just need like a bunch of wetland all the time. It makes the animals that actually should have a high wetland need not feel as like special. It's something I might change in a mod at some point. Probably after I do my like economy rebalance stuff. This is probably way down the road. Why doesn't this work? Okay, in this specific case. Oh, I know why it doesn't work. Because these are all index zeros. This should be index 1. And this should be index 2. At some point we modularized this, but we didn't call the indexes correctly. Boom, bug fixed. Pierce, tackle, jaw lock. Do I think Dimetrodon would have visible chunk? I'm not qualified to answer this question. Now why did it crash? Card text, do text, passive, global.passive, master, test genes 2, ranked tiers 2. This should have worked. Variable index 1 out of range 1. What? Oh, this is the crash on the array push? Array push, text out, text stuff. 127 do card text. Script 1. Line 127 do card stuff. Wait, what? Oh, that's in here. Oops. This 127. Is it because it's not multi-lined? For I equals 0, array length scale. I think yeah, so that's what it's breaking in here. It's got to be because this doesn't get used. Text stuff I plus 1. Let's just try that. You remove wetlands entire requirement entirely. I mean, that's one way to work around it for sure. I think I can just do like comma this. Because I don't have any syntax for there not to be values in here. This needs to be expanded on. We'll call this an int for now. Just so it doesn't at least add the percentage sign. Fuck. Line 131 crash. Effect. Maybe it's the effect. Let's check what line 131 is. Text out. Why would this crash? Unknown object.range cannot be resolved. Array push text out. Text out equals text stuff is 0. Gene data dot description. Why would this break? If I is less than array length. Yeah, I was pretty happy to see a novel species get in, even if it doesn't exactly fit the vibe of the pack. I want hopefully we'll get, I mean, I don't think we'll get pro comps on this ever, honestly, but I would like to see it, even if it's just Stegosaurus 2. Why would this break? Why would this break? Array length of text out. Text out is text stuff. This is the gene data. Is the description not long enough? And then it's not like wrapping around ever to a second line and that breaks it? Fuck. Rotate the text out array, convert it to a single string, then slice by length, question mark. Then export a list, maybe. Yeah, this is not terribly useful to me. Array length of text out. Say it's 10. Text out 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Gets the individual letter or word. Then we had a space, we had the component. This should be a word. So these are words. So they're added to string. Why does this break? Because there's no words? Text out is empty? That might be it. If text out is empty, this would break. Gene data dot description. Gene data. Gene data is being fed into do card text. Do card text. This is fed attack, global.attacks, test gene, and the tier. Wait, this broke on an attack. Why would this break on an actually on an attack? Wait, that doesn't make any sense because we've been bugging out on a passive. Do I think they'll have more maps to campaign mode? Maybe. Really hard to tell how they'll handle DLCs, if it'll be integrated or not. I think there's possibility for them integrating DLCs into the main campaign, like the Woo DLC from JW1, but that's kind of the only time they've actually done that, so who knows? Who knows what they'll do? It doesn't seem unreasonable to me that you like a Rebirth DLC could just continue off of the end of the current campaign. Like I could just see that, you know, building off of the Lockwood stuff. Why? Okay, we need to know what's breaking this, and to know what's breaking this, we need to know which thing is being called. So, this might be a different bug we just discovered. So let's go to the cards. Go here. We're looking for the do card text. Okay, we'll know which one breaks when we see it. So what we can do is we can do a printout of the test genes. Show debug message test genes. Okay, see, this works. And this is also, it's relevant here that we have Bull Rush. Oh yeah, also the tiers are showing correctly. Tier 1 of 2, Tier 1 of 1, Tier 1 of 2, Dominant Gene, Recessive Gene, Dominant Gene. So we're confirming that that stuff works, which is fun. We'll take Bull Rush. Okay, Rend, Pierce, Growl. Osteoderm's Fear Resistant During. I mean, this is mostly working. The bug is conditional. It might just be they didn't want to, you know, pay BD Wong to be in the game, right? Well, now we're not crashing. This can't last. I'm shocked we haven't crashed yet. How are we still going? Did I code in the passives? Like, at least the description? Because I don't remember Hustle actually being in. I feel like I actually added these. Well, this is working well. We've managed to get all the way to level... Do I not have the level on this UI? I don't think I have the level on this UI. That's funny. Health spec. I mean, the system almost works. We're almost there. I literally can't get it to crash now, which is hilarious. There it goes. Finally, we crashed it. It crashed on Spear, Rip and Tear, and Threat Display. Interesting. Specifically, it died on Rip and Terror. Oh, it's the capitalization. It does matter because I changed it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I think we just need to change it here in genetic info. Here. Yeah, because this is the only place this is capitalized. Okay. Let's go to the ranch. No, the... Do I not have it up there? What the hell? Dino data. Yeah. Dino data object. Yeah, this doesn't help me. Yeah, the I really liked the idea of giving a Carnotaurus feathered arms as like a display feature. I thought that would be fun. And then I want to exaggerate the keratin on the horns, make them very long. That's the logic there. And canonically, Carnotauruses are always red and black. That's just true. That's just the factual truth, right? We do this. Global.pc.level. All right, run it. So we're looking for rip and tear, and we're looking for a gene sequence gap to verify that those are working. Those are the two things we need to see in game. Pure shake off and growl. Okay, let's check the UI thing here. Okay, so Catoblepoth, Carnotaurus, level 3. I think I want the slashes in between there to make that a little more legible. We can just take care of that right now. Back in the other thing real quick. Slash space level. All right. Let's keep leveling up. We can go all the way to like level cap, essentially. Weaken, aggressive, hell spec. Okay, we got a crash. We crashed on Osteoderm's threat display serrated teeth. How did that crash? That's not... Osteoderm's threat display serrated teeth. I don't see serrated teeth. Is serrated teeth just not coded in? Did I just miss that one specifically? Serrated teeth. Oh, no, it's right there. No, it's in. Serrated teeth is in. Wait, which one crashed specifically? Yeah, serrated teeth specifically was the one that crashed. Serrated teeth, serrated teeth. Serrated teeth, serrated teeth. The capitalization's all the same. Crashed on line 125. N equals base I plus scale times tier. Is this one? This is a percent int ints. Is that the problem? Bytes always have a percent chance to cause bleed 1 for 1 second. Do you think it's possible to own and care for a Guanlong, or is it too dangerous? It's probably right around that threshold of danger, but I mean, a dog can kill you, and people have and care for dogs, so it probably depends entirely on the demeanor of the animal and if it can be domesticated. Why would this specific one crash? Global.passives master test genes 2 rank tiers 2. 2 card text. Line 121. N equals base I plus scale I times tier. $121. Base plus scale times tier. Suspicious. Line 121. So for some reason, this is where the problem came in. I don't know how that would happen. We're pulling the array length from the scale. Base, scale, and tier. Where's tier coming from? Tier is coming from here. We fed this a tier, rank tiers 2. So this should be just a 1. I don't think that would be the problem. Maybe we need to have more printouts here, though, to catch this the next time it happens. So let's do... Actually, let's do... Yeah, let's kill this debug message here. Rank tiers. Maybe the indexing got weird. I don't know. Let's write out the output. Show debug message output array. That way if one breaks, we know exactly how it broke. Yeah, Utahraptor would be like, that's like people who own like a tiger. They're just kind of asking to be mauled. Let's look at the passives one more time before we run this again. Comma, 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 comma. It should be fine. Oh, is this... Wait a second. Is it because these are double nested lists? Oh yeah, look, this is not a double list. Why did I make these double? Why are that's really weird. This one's wrong too. How was that? That's been there for a long time. I thought we tested these too. I'd like distinctly have a memory of testing out Thorny Hide or whatever. Okay, let's make some notes. This is suspicious. So we need to make sure Thorny Hide, Serrated Teeth work. We need to check Rip and Tear. And we need to check Gene Sequence Gap. And make sure all of these work in the level up screen. We also just need to figure out if we broke the implementation of Thorny Hide or Serrated Teeth just now by removing those extra brackets. Extra brackets? Question mark. Extra brackets? Question mark. So if we go to the title screen, where we implement the baryonics, and we give this Thorny Hide, we can see if this works when we fight it. Okay, now that crashed. Variable index, error, parse passives. Right. Parse passives. This is a whole other problem. Right. Because these are the last ones implemented. These are supposed to be double bracketed. This was a workaround for something. Was that how that was? Okay. So for whatever reason, this is how this had to be for this to function with the way this was coded in the game, which is hot garbage. I think it's because we accidentally coded these in as counterattack type things or whatever. No, we coded Serrated Teeth and we accidentally made Thorny Hide. So theoretically, these would also need to be double nested. So let's do that. Let's keep this consistent. Maybe there was a logic to this. We'll need to trace this down, but I think this is going to be this specific issue. This is a problem for another day. But we do need to format this in our text, our level up system. This only has int once. Wait, why does regenerator have two variables? I don't know what the logic here was. This one's cooked completely. This doesn't make any sense. But given that it's not actually implemented, let's not worry about it. I don't know what the hell my logic there would have been. Because it was just that one that had extra numbers, which is just weird. These are all going to break in the text parse. This seems bad. This seems bad. This breaks more than everything else does. Fuck. Okay. First things first, let's fix regenerator. Then we got to go back. We got to deal with these. So we're just going to remove this so the text parses correctly. Then this broke during parse passives. Which is in script 1, I think. Parse passives. Line 174 here. The rank. That's probably not it. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Let's copy this info, stick this in my little text document so that I can look at it. Let's go back to the script. So, 174. So this now breaks this code somewhere around here. Attacker stats. So for each passive, you parse it, right? You have the name. And the rank. The info is then retrieved here. Pass name 1 effects. Wait, why would it break here? This should only break for base, scale, and class. That doesn't make any sense that this is where this breaks. What? Oh. Wait a second. This is not actually the bug. We didn't give this a rank. Fuck, it's almost 10. This should be thorny hard comma 1. Because it needs a rank when it's in the passives array. Okay. It still crashed, but this is expected. But now it should be crashing somewhere better. Parse passives. Line 268 now. Global passive master, passive name, and base. I 0. If modded stats I is an effect. Split info 4 at and. Fuck. Show debug message dice. I don't need to see this anymore for sure. So yeah, so the issue is this is pulling I0. Wait, what? How is this working when everything else wasn't double nested? What is the actual bug? Fuck me. Oh man, this code is awful. This is the chance. Passive name, base, name, subtype. Is it always pulling double indexes? It is. Let's try osteoderms. Passives Thorny Hide, passives Osteoderms, comma 1. All right, let's just do the battle. Okay, see, this works. Okay, so this is a bigger problem that we have to go through later. So what we're going to do is ignore it. We're just going to do this. We're going to give this Baryonyx both of these passives, the one that works and the one that currently doesn't work. And we're not going to do the battle. We're going to leave the battle broken. We're going to go back to making sure these work in the level up UI. And then we're going to worry about why the fuck the syntax is inconsistent for the passives in the code. Spear Rend and Feeding Frenzy. Growl, Challenge, Roar, Devour. Pierce, Spear, and Tail Slap. Give me a new one. Give me one of the ones I need to bug check, please. Oops, I gotta pick a thing. I like that the UI is still active. That needs to be fixed. It's interesting that there's like a lag effect when you click on train. Why is that? That's really weird. Why that screen in particular? It's like a memory leak, maybe? Maybe I should check the genome data here. We're looking for thorny hide or serrated teeth, rip and tear. And I don't think gene sequence gaps will show up here at all. Okay, we do have serrated teeth in the genome. I think that's fixed. I do think that dialogue will work. Okay, serrated teeth. Bite attacks have a 10% chance to cause a bleed 1 for 5 seconds. So it parses correctly. So we can cross that one off. That works. Boom. We're looking for rip and tear. Let's relaunch the game. Get a new randomized dinosaur here. I could try and force this, but I would like it to occur organically to just verify it that it works. Okay, we do have rip and tear. So we can lock that one in at least. Okay, rip and tear. That worked. Now we're just looking for a gene sequence gap to show up, which requires a dupe. A duped card. Or an over-tiered one. So we should always take the high-tiered things. Ah, gene sequence gap. Tier 1 of 0. Dominant, you can fill this slot with a designer gene later. And then the dialogue break. Did we... I don't think we needed that break, right? Did we need that break? Maybe. Maybe we need that. I don't know. Text parsing. No, because we did have an indexing error, right? Yes. The zero is just got to be there till we fix that. Okay. So those all work. Great. So the passives. The passives problem. 10 o'clock. We should wrap up the stream probably. We can think about this real quick. So the issue is if the passives as coded, if we want them to work, that breaks the text parsing specifically. Function do card text for passives. I wonder, could we put everything inside brackets? Let's test this. If we do osteoderms like this, let's revert Thorny Hide to make this work again. Okay, that crashed. variable is malformed, nval passive dot base index plus passive dot scale. At 143. So this was osteoderms that broke, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Mm-hmm. So these were the first two I implemented with multiple bases and scales. Okay, so parsing the attacker's passive, parse the defender's passive. If splint info on defend, if modded stats split the string at space and what what? Huh? Modded stats, split info 3. This is awful. Passive name. This is the effect. So we're taking this effect. This is this. We're now splitting this at per comma. Right, because this was a singular string. Check situation, entry 1. So these are calling different things from this string. Yes. Subtype. Check subtype. What is subtype? What the fuck is subtype? What is subtype? That's coming from nowhere. That's not no, this is hard coded. This is a tax subtype. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this doesn't matter. This is just saying and effect new string p plus modded stats I. What the fuck? If it's not a fact, if it's a fact, to edit a fact, need to check if it triggers. The most difficult fight with an octopus. Interesting. Did the octopus win? Was it arm wrestling? Pass name base I0. So this is where this breaks. This is where the indexing breaks down. And that is because this is expecting there to be multiple levels to this at this point. Effect equal F's I. F's is string split. For I. Why is this double? Why is this I here? Why did this work? Zero, one, and two. Oh, wait. Wait, what? Scale is pulling the first value. Duration is pulling the 2. This makes no goddamn sense. Is this even right? Like before? For I 0 to array length of effects. Effects is the string split of split info 4 being split at and. So this is saying if there's multiple conditions, right? So this is never, this is 1. That's all this is. Well, the array length is 1. So I is always 1. Well, 0, because it's less than 1. So this is saying this is 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. I don't, these shouldn't be, wait, this is duration. Oh, yeah, okay. No, I get what's, yes. So these are 2, 1, 0. Yes. Yes. 10% chance. Integer value for the bleed. Integer value for the duration. Yes. Okay. I see how the code works. How do I make it work correctly? The double indexing was always a workaround. Okay, if it's an and, okay, theoretically, what is this and effect ever going to be? String split info 4. What is split info 4? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be for multiple effects. Like on defend, always apply, bleed, and stun, or whatever, I guess. I think that's the logic here. But this fundamentally doesn't work. I don't think. I don't think this is even functional. It works because it never does anything. That's the only reason I think this line of code works. Is because it always returns 0 anyway, and it doesn't matter. I feel like I'm looking at the internal code of a Pokemon game. I watched a video on this recently about like how poorly coded Pokemon is. It was like this crazy situation with the weather effects in Gen 3 Pokemon where like there's no internal variable for there not being weather. And because weather can never be set to nothing, the game checks for like weather in crazy places in the code. Like weather works just fine if there is a weather effect, but when there's no weather effect, there's no variable for no weather. And so the game just starts grabbing nonsense. Then it was like people investigating where the numbers were actually coming from, and like it was crazy. It was like a beautiful example of how to code really badly. And this is kind of that. Not this isn't that bad. So I think if I just kill the eyes, this works. Because right now, this entire for loop is just 0. This is just I is always 0, and this all runs once with a value of 0. And that's the only reason I had to double nest this shit. I think I can just kill these. Let's do it like this. Let's copy these lines. Let's put them here. And then comment them out. But this is some fucking garbage. I don't know what I was doing when I coded this. Because I think this and syntax stuff just isn't going to work anyway. So I think even if we did have an ability that actually had 2 effects and used and, I think it would just break the code anyway. So, like, it's garbage. I do need to wrap up stream here, but I really want to fix this now that I've got a bead on why it doesn't work, or why it's bad. Okay, it never triggered. Okay, now I'm just bleeding at the start of the battle, which is comedy. Can I please not be bleeding for a little bit? That'd be great. Am I just perma-bleeding now for some reason? What the fuck, bro? What did I do? Why is my code so bad? Ah, man. Kill me! Okay, I'm not bleeding for the first time, like, ever. I'm trying to trigger the reactive bleed, and it does not seem to work. Yeah, if you go right back into battle, the conditions don't reset, which is very funny. Add that to the bug list. Okay, so the code isn't crashing, but I don't know if this shit's working. It's like a 10% chance. We can hijack it. Let's do that. We go to the passive dictionary. Boom. We set the scale to 100% chance. We run this bitch. And we see if this works. All right, Jim's on. Okay, well, that was a fishhook bleed. Now I'm bleeding again. If I'm always bleeding, I can't check this shit. Oh, the bleed still carries over here, even. Awkward. Okay, just pin him down in the corner. I missed my devour. Okay, so the bleed is just not functioning at all. Yeah, Lurk is unbeatable. Why? Okay. All I've done is kill the double brackets, and that has rendered the ability broken. We expected this, but we figured we would have fixed it by removing the eyes here, and it doesn't seem to be the case. I'm trying to wrap up, but I've got a bug on my mind. Probably, yeah, we've beaten the Baryonyx. We can beat it in a straight fight. It's just the odds are not good for us. But that's fine, because you're supposed to train and level up a little bit first. I think we're probably just going to leave this here for tonight. Come back to this new bug next time and try to figure it out. Go back through my code that I wrote 3 months ago or whatever and figure out why this indexing change doesn't just make this work again. Oh, this is pulling this on I. Wait, effect equals F0. No, that should be fine. Base and scale. Base and scale, base and scale. No, that should be the only thing that's needed to change. I is always 0 anyway. Fuck. Okay, let's do this. Debug message effect, debug message scale, debug message duration. Moddat dot default effect logic. And an array of effects, scale, and duration. Return moddat. This is a hideous function. Look at this bracketing. Ugh. Disgusting. This needs to be rewritten. This is a nightmare. This function sucks ass. This is so bad. All right. Let's just leave a little note here. All right, there we go. All right. We'll work on this on next Tuesday. We'll fix this. We'll get that re-implemented. I think this just needs to be redone. I honestly, this is very funny. Haha, code is bad, but also the code is bad. And I don't see this scaling well. This is a core function that we need to, like, we've implemented. Let's go look at the passives dictionary here. We've implemented 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passive abilities. Only 5 passives are implemented in the entire game. And 2 of them are broken. And the code is a rat's nest of garbage. And that is very bad. We have plans for all of these other passives that all have their data entry put in. And we're supposed to add these? This is a whole project. I think this is what we do next. We go back through this passive code and we figure out how to do this not awful. Because this sucks. I think the data entry part is okay. But the parsing seems like it's just awful.